Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 101. It is February 22nd, Saturday evening, and I finally have time to record. Apologies for the delay. I want to thank everybody for all the wonderful messages you sent me about episode 100. It went over very well, and I sent out all the prizes, so I'm so glad everyone enjoyed partaking in the giveaways and enjoyed receiving the giveaways, and everything just could not have gone smoother. So apologies for the delay. We've on the East Coast, we've been having kind of horrible weather, so there may have been a delay in your delivery. But anyway, I apologize for that. I can't really gauge Mother Nature, but anyway, today it's gorgeous out. It's 50 degrees out, but this whole past week we've had snow. This whole winter vortex terminology, I don't like. I don't know. I just can't. I'm sick of hearing about it, if you will. But yeah, finally, I think we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So, not to talk about the weather, but yeah, we've been having some really crap weather here, and I'm gonna have a wellies boot burning once warm weather comes around because I'm so sick of wearing my wellies. Wellies, by the way, if you're not familiar, they're rain boots, basically, just rubber rain boots, and I'm so sick of wearing them. I've been wearing them to work. I just don't take them off. I just charge around in them, and I have my hand knit socks when I wear them. I just wear my hand knit socks inside said boots, so I can't complain there. But the wellies, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this weather. Just the title of this podcast will be "Sick of This Weather." I will assure you. But anyway, on to bigger, brighter things. The Ravelenics. I have been a horrible Ravelenics team captain. I know I joined Team Sasquatch. It was my goal this whole year. Like, New Year's resolution was to just partake in all the, Ravelry knitting events that happened throughout the year. And one of those happened to be the Ravelenic games. And I am so type B. I'm putting it out there. I am type B. I am far from type A. I just can't. This has been like a reoccurring theme in my mental vocabulary. I am very much type B. I can't follow a schedule. If it's on my own time, I just don't follow a schedule. I just go with the flow, and I just take a laid back approach to everything that I do because I want to enjoy it. So I've just been because long story short, like, work has been taking a lot out of me, and trying to keep up with everything else that's going on outside of work has been very challenging. So I want to apologize for not being that proactive, but I do dip into the YarnGasm Ravelenic games thread whenever I can, and I do comment, and I do check your photos that you've been posting, so thank you so much. I really do enjoy seeing what you guys have been knitting for the Ravelenic games, and I have to post some photos myself. And I'm about to show you what I've been working on. It has not been without a hitch and a glitch, so you guys are in for a treat. So, without much further ado, I'm working with no show notes here because I knew that I had to sit down and podcast, so I'm going with it. I'm winging it like I usually do. Type B. So, as you know, I decided to knit the Tempest cardigan by Anne Weaver, and this is a free pattern that you can download or not download, just click onto via knitty.com, and it's an older pattern. I believe it's about 5 or 6 years old when they published it, but I cast it on, and as you know, I went to Vogue Knitting Live. This is the back, mind you, and it's curling. That really was not productive because it's just not going to curl. Anyway, this is the back. Hello. So you have 3 big stripes here, and I believe 13 little stripes here, and then for the waist shaping, and then more bigger stripes for the armhole and neck shape and shoulder line shaping. And the yarn is cephalopod yarns. The blue is Blue Lobster, which is an amazing blue-green colorway, very saturated. I believe that's the right color. Yeah, the camera is doing it justice. And this one here is Vampire Squid. And I saw these two together. I purchased these at Vogue Knitting Live, and I held the two skeins together. I'm like, yes, I must knit something with this. And I was in love. But here's where the hitch comes in. While I was winding the skeins, Blue Lobster I had no problem. But then when I went to wind the Vampire Squid skein, if you haven't been following me on Twitter or Instagram, you are about to cry. And as you know, Cephalopod Yarn's Skinny Bugga is an MCN, and it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap, guys. I splurged on this. Do you have a tissue box ready? Because this is what happened. This is what happened when I wound my... I don't know. I don't know how it got to this point, but I have a Knit Picks ball winder, which you can purchase from Knit Picks from like $20, and you know the price is very appealing, but when it comes down to actually functioning, sometimes there is a little drama involved. And what happened was I was winding it, and this has never happened to me before, but as I was winding it, the skein wasn't winding the way it normally does, you know, where it like has a crisscross. It just does a very nice little... I will show you. Here's Blue Lobster. It has that nice little crisscross kind of thing going on here. So every strand is neatly wound. This time around, it wasn't doing that. It was just kind of doing like rings of Saturn this way, this way, this way, in the same direction until it was like lopsided. I'm like, wait, that's not happening. And I didn't think it would affect it, but I'm like, all right, I'll just figure it out later. So I rotated the center pole in the middle of the ball winder, and then so it would just wind in the opposite direction, or you know, so it would be like a nice little crisscross that way, but with thicker winds. I don't know if that makes any sense, but oh my goodness, you can kind of see what happened here under all this hullabaloo. It just wound up not right, and when it came, you know, I didn't realize that, oh, if it's winding that way, it's not going to pull off the ball when I knit with it correctly. So here we have this, and I've had many, many wonderful people on Twitter and Instagram reach out to me saying, send me the skein. I would love to unwind it for you or detangle it for you. I salute you. I don't know who you people are that enjoy detangling this type of thing, but I don't know. You are amazing. And this, like, I don't think I will be able to salvage this at all. So I will be sending this to somebody who would love to detangle this. So stay tuned. Yeah, so I was kind of left in the lurch. I just kind of, you know, broke some of the, you know, the yarn from that mess that you just saw, and then knit with it, and then broke it, tied it, and you can kind of see, like, towards the end of, like, where, like, right there, you can see it, like, it wasn't too bad, you know, I got a couple of rows in. It was like 13 rows each per color change, so it wasn't horrible, but the rest of it I just couldn't do. I was like, this is not going to happen. I'm not going to have enough. So I went on to cephalopodyarns.com, or their website, and I looked for more Vampire Squid. Apparently it's a discontinued colorway, and this really I was a little bit disenchanted by that fact, but I did do a search, and it turns out eatsleepknit.com had a couple skeins left, so I purchased it right away because I was like, I have to finish this for the Revelant Games. So it came without further ado. It came very quickly. I didn't do like fast shipping or anything. They just have amazing shipping standards. So thank you, Eat Sleep Knit. You are amazing shippers and yarn suppliers. But Reikis, as you know, with all hand dyed skeins, dye lots are an important factor when it comes to purchasing yarn. If you're not familiar, if you're a total newbie, beware of your dye lots, because if you buy buy several skeins all from different dye lots, you may not have that consistency while knitting the same garment. So if you have a dye lot from, case in point, if you were following me back when I knit the Valinda cardigan, gorgeous pattern, love knitting it, it was a labor of love, lots of cabling and everything, but I was using yarn that I purchased years ago, like maybe 3 years ago, when I went knit it, and then I ran out of yarn, ironically, so I had to purchase more from Knit Picks, and it was a totally different dye lot, and so I had a gorgeous cardigan, but like half of it was a darker green, and the rest of it was a slightly lighter green, so yeah, just beware of your dye lots. And the same scenario happened with this. So this is the new skein, wound up correctly, but totally different dye lot. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but the one that I originally purchased was a much subtler, like brownish orange, like more rusty orange, and this is a very bright red. There are pops of red in there. So naturally, while I'm knitting up with it, you can tell. I mean, there are some like subtle pops of red in there too, but it's more prominent in the new one. So, oh goodness. Here is the left side of the cardigan that I'm knitting. Almost done with it. And here's the back. It's so faint. I was seriously considering just frogging the whole thing, but I came so far, and I laid everything out, and when Dennis came home, I put them all next to each other, and I was like, what do you think? Does anything stand out to you in this? And he's like, no, not really. So I'm like, I mean, look at the colors. And he looked at it for a while, and he's like, this one looks a little bit brighter than that one, but it's such a busy pattern that, not the words I exactly want to hear, busy, but he's like, it's such a busy scheme going on that it really doesn't bother me. So I kind of took a big sigh of relief, because I really do not want to frog this out, because I have such bad luck with cardigans. Every cardigan that I knit, there's always something wrong with it. And this time I tried to do everything right, but of course something non-related to my I don't know. But yeah, it was kind of my fault. I should have stopped winding the ball when I realized it wasn't winding up right. But anyway, yeah. So here's where we are. I don't know if I can line it up correctly to show you, so you get a better idea of where I'm at or what's going on here. Oh, be-day. Okay. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. So, get these two lined up. So you can kind of tell it's not horrible. I can live with it. If that's what you're wondering, I can live with this, because this is the back. It's very subtle, and this is the front. It doesn't bother me. Again, type B. I can live with these things. I am not a perfectionist. I try to be sometimes, but it just doesn't pan out. I have to go with what comes to me. So that's where I am with my my Revelenic game. It's Saturday. I think the Olympics are pretty much over, and I really regret not recording during the Revelenic games. I probably should have, but I didn't. So this will be a work in progress. Yay. Again, yarn Cephalopod, Skinny Bugga in Vampire Squid, and Blue Lobster. And it's MCN merino nylon cashmere, and it's lovely and squishy, and it would kill me to rip this whole thing out. I will wear it gladly with love. So that's my Revelenic update. What else? I have so much to talk about. I have been a busy bee when it comes to hand dyeing. I'm saying a lot. I'm trying not to, but I am. I know. On the needles. So, as you know, I've been dyeing up a lot of yarn. So, one skein that didn't really pan out because of my said ball winder conundrum. By the way I fixed my ball winder, I had to unscrew it, and it turns out there was a gear in the middle of the ball winder that was kind of like off. It was a plastic disc gear that was just off kilter, and I had to like pop it back into place. So if your Knit Picks or any ball winder just starts not working well, just unscrew it, see what's happening on underneath the hood, and go from there. And I oiled it a little bit because I noticed like there was some oil to it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you do oil these things. So I just put a little dab of oil in there and like screwed it back on, and it works fine now. So yeah, no. But yeah, one skein that I hand dyed did not make it. So I had to sit there for hours on end unwinding this thing, and I managed to salvage. It was underweight, so I couldn't sell it. So I decided to just knit my own stuff with it. So if you're familiar, if you checked out my Etsy shop, this is my Myth colorway. It's just a beautiful, like, I'm in love with it. It's just like a subtle, muted, kind of like denim. I don't want to use the word denim because, I don't know, I don't like that. I don't like, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of denim, but this is like a soft, misty, soft blue with like pops of lavender, like subtle pops of lavender in there. And it's variegated. And I'm loving the way it's knitting up. This is my sock. I'm just knitting a vanilla sock. So this is how it's knitting up. And I'm so smitten with it. Like, I just love the fact that it's knitting up very, subtle variegations and everything like that. It's relaxing. It's just like such a calming color. So yay, way to toot your own horn, Kristen. But anyway, and I'm just using my Knit Picks circular metal thingamajigs. Oh, and by the way, I know many of you have been asking me about a pattern for my way of knitting vanilla socks. It's coming. I promise you guys. I just want to make it all pretty. I want to have time to sit down and revise it. I really, at the end of the day, I just really want to make it pretty for you guys. So it's not just like text on paper, publish, So maybe when I'm done knitting these, I will take photos, make it all pretty, and have a pattern for you guys. It will be free, so might get to you. So yeah, yay! I have to diet more of this because I love it. And this is the Bedford base. It's the BFL. I love it, and it's soft. I mean, it's not exactly soft, but it's strong and sturdy. But I may discontinue it, only because I have like a love affair with soft yarn, and I kind of want that to be the basis of my, Etsy shop. I want to just sell soft, gorgeous, smushy yarn. I don't know. But I highly recommend BFL. I mean, it's sturdy, it's workhorse. I mean, if, I don't know. I have to think about it. I really have to think about it, but I just love dyeing like soft yarn. I don't know. But, I'll think about it. To be determined. And I've been keeping it in my Chubby Cloud pink peacock project bag. And it has like this lovely chevron inside. I love this bag. I take it with me everywhere. Even though I don't usually, I did knit on the subway last week, but it's just too crowded to knit in the morning. So one day, like when we had a huge snowstorm, I just, I was waiting for the train. I'm like, screw it. I'll just knit. So, I take it with me just in cases. And yeah, I said just in cases from Love Actually. Anyway, I digress. So, that is pretty much what I've been knitting on, just because the Ravelinic games were happening, and I want to get this cardigan done. I need a new cardigan. I've been wanting to knit a new cardigan, so that's been my main focus. And then the sock has just been kind of my distraction. What else? I have spinning to show you. So finally, I've been spinning like crazy. Oh, and I finally finished my loop. I should have this card. My spontaneous spinning clouds that I purchased at Rhinebeck. I have a skein. Yay. So I Navajo applied it. I believe it's like 3.5 ounces. I purchased 4 ounces of their spontaneous spinning clouds, and this is loop. And then the colorway is Dream Come True, 4 ounces of Merino, Tussa Silk, and Angelina. And this is how it spun up. So I love it. I still have to soak it. I really have to soak it, but it feels so soft and squishy. it really was a spontaneous spinning project, but I think it's more of a DK. So maybe I will knit a hat with it. So out of the 4 ounces that I spun with this, I was able to spin up about 3.5 ounces. So I think I'll get a nice hat or maybe fingerless mitts with it. And again, I think it's about like DK. So yeah, I'm so excited and I love the colors. How much, like purple, mauve, like mulberry, stellina. Ugh, this screams my name. It's ridiculous. It really is. It freaking really is. So yeah, and in other spinning, I don't know if you remember, but I cast on Gourmet Stash's Fibery Tribbles in Jon Snow / The Wall. I saw those on her. She was like dyeing some up, and I immediately pre-ordered some. I was like, must be mine. So I think Laura also from the Dyer's Notebook purchased some too. We all saw it and we're like, yes, my precious. So I started spinning some up on my drop spindle, but then I kind of got the itches to just kind of throw it onto my Lendrum. So if I can get this up here, here's where we are. I have one more tribble to spin, but it's spinning up so lovely. I mean, you have like midnight blue, like it's a huge contrast. It's like a midnight blue / purpley white blue. It's very snowy, like a snowy, twilighty color. So I'm having fun with that, and it's spinning up very thin. Oh gosh, I don't know if you can see this, but I've been wearing like a respirator while I was dyeing up some stuff today, so you may see like my nose still has like the indent from the respirator. It's ridiculous. Again, I've been having a lot of fun dyeing. But anyway, let me see. This is, sorry for the rustling, the Fibery Tribble, and I don't believe she's going to be dyeing up anymore. And again, this is Jon Snow. I can get that to focus. There we go. Jon Snow, The Wall. And it consists of superfine merino, bamboo, silk, yak, and Angelina. And I love spinning with this. I don't know if I just said that, but yeah. I mean, there's like hits of like blue stellina in there. So, I'm in love. And if you notice, I didn't bother to take down my antlers, the mirror thing. I just can't. I figured it wasn't directly behind me, so I don't know. It's a hassle. I don't know. I have to find a new place to podcast, but anyway. Oh, and these are from Valentine's Day. Dennis got me these, so they're kind of on their way out. But I wanted to show them to you guys, so here they are. And you can see the food coloring in there. I love trippy daisy colors. I don't know. I digress. Okay. Adventures in hand dyeing, because yes, I have been a dyeing nut. I've been having way too much fun with this. So I will just show you what I've been dyeing up. And this is a new one that I dyed up, I think, on Thursday. This is called Lucid. And it's just like a lovely shade of like purples, mauves, blues, peacock blues. And if you love this type of, you know, color family, it's just like super pretty. So I had fun dyeing it. Elspeth, I think, just purchased in one. So this is going to her. Elspeth, I'm referring to her by her Instagram handle, which is, so yeah, Elspeth, if you're watching, this is going to you. I will mail this out shortly. So, and this is on my McGinnis sock base, and it's superwash merino. And I think there's like over 400, there's like 438 yards in here, so you can get a pair of socks and then some out of this. So very excited about that colorway, or that sock base and colorway, I should say. And this one I actually dyed up more purple. I just had a purple fest. I was a hot mess. I just went crazy with purple. It's more like a purpley, grayish, chestnutty color. So I think for the Wythe base, because I have 3 bases so far. I have Bedford, which is the BFL sock, and then I have Wythe, which is silk merino, and then I have the McGinnis sock base, which is just Superwash Merino. And basically, I just name all the sock bases after streets in Brooklyn because why not? They're like popular streets in Brooklyn. If you live in Brooklyn or you've been to Brooklyn, you're probably familiar with them. So I just kind of like go with the personality of the street versus, the personality of the sock. And Wythe is pretty swanky. I mean, you got Brooklyn Bowl, you got the Wythe Hotel, you have, Gutter Bowl on there. You have like a whole strip of restaurants and everything. So it's very swanky. So I named my swankiest sock base after the Wythe, Wythe Street. So yeah, this is purpley, like a warm purple with hints of like cool purples. So yeah, that's that. And this one, it was kind of like a one shot. I was kind of experimenting. I call this one Grotto. It might be a one of a kind. So I haven't really decided whether or not, well, I definitely am going to have regular colorways in the shop, but I'm having a little too much fun just kind of, experimenting with colors and seeing what I come up with on spur of the moment. I just love getting like a different colorway each time that I dye something up. But I know that can kind of counteract, it can be kind of productive when you're running an Etsy shop, because if there's a color that you really like that you see and it's sold out, what do you do? So I have been taking notes while I dye things up. So if there's something that was in the shop that is no longer available, that's sold out, definitely contact me, because I do take notes on how I dyed up a certain skein. So it is possible for me to re-dye a certain color. So I do take custom orders, so let me know. Check out what's been sold out and what have you. So happy to, recreate something. So yeah, I just love don't look at my nails, guys. I have to give myself a manicure, but this is like a dark, kind of like lush mossy green with like hints of lavender in there. I love the way it turned out. So yay, there's that. And then what else? This one turned out, this is Myth again, but it turned out a little darker than usual. So, but I still love it. It has the same tones and everything, just a smidge darker. I think this was my first attempt at dyeing on the McGinnis sock base, and it just turned out slightly darker than I anticipated. But I love it. So yeah, there's that. And then, let me see. I don't want to bore you guys with like too much, but anyway, you probably saw this all in the shop, so I'm just going to show you this one last but not least. This is definitely one of a kind. I don't think I can replicate it because I was trying to, there was some dye left over in my pot, so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to create a one of a kind. So I dipped it in and got this buttery gorgeous yellow, and it just went to town. I even did some speckling on it, if you can see. So it kind of reminds me of like I don't know, like an amaryllis or like sunspots or something. So this one is definitely like an artsy skein if you're into that sort of thing. So, like definitely, if I can get that to focus. Yeah, so you get some brown spots in there. But yeah, so that's what I've been dyeing up. Yeah, so other than that, I can't really think of anything else to talk about. I have to do some reviews. I just really, guys, I haven't had time to sit down and go through. I know Cooperative Press, they sent me a whole bunch of digital downloads to review, and I really just haven't had time. I need to relax this weekend, so I will get to it. There will be plenty of reviews to come. I promise you that. But yeah, again, short episode. I apologize. C'est la vie. I hope everybody is enjoying this if you live on the East Coast, I hope you're enjoying this unseasonably balmy tropical weather we're having, if you can count 50s as tropical. And yeah, so that said, I hope everyone has a wonderful week ahead of you, and I will see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye.